That was a hit. Yep. G'day guys and welcome back. So recently in Australia there's been a bit of a craze called BFS. Now if you don't know what that stands for, it's short for bait finesse systems. And what it is using really small bait casters with super light braid and real lightweight rods for flicking weights as low as 1 to 2 grams. Now that's usually a little bit too light for what the usual bait caster gear will cast. So I've had a few of my mates really push me towards using the BFS gear. Personally, I haven't really been too jazzed about it and I haven't really seen a need for it. And I didn't really want to go and spend the money on the gear. So Frank, aka All Balls, has been kind enough to lend me one of his half a dozen or so outfits as he's been really getting into it lately. So what Frank's given me here to try is one of his outfits. Now the reel itself is a Daiwa Tachula CT100HS, 7.3 to 1 gear ratio, loaded with 6 pound braid, and the rod is a Team Daiwa Black 6'4" in a 2 to 6 kilo rating. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a Jackal Micro Pompadour on that rod, and we're also going to put a Jackal Micro Pompadour on my Shimano Stella with the Miller Rod Bass Freak as a like-for-like comparison with the same lure to see what the difference is between the rods. So what we'll do is we'll take it down the river in the morning, we'll flick both around, and we'll see how they compare to each other, and we'll see if BFS can occupy a gap in my gear lineup. My guess is maybe not, but I don't really see, just looking at it, anything that it can do that my usual spinning gear can't do. So let's go. All right guys, so we've come down to the river this morning to do our little test here with BFS to see if I can be converted to it. Now, we have to reference it against something that's similar. So what I've brought down is my Miller Rod Bass Freak in Stella 1000 FK. And on both rods, we're going to be using a micro pomp just to keep that part of things similar. So first of all, we're going to start off with the spinning gear. So cast smoothly, obviously, nice and accurate with a short rod. I'm just going to flick around here under the trees and around the snags. Wait for the ducks to go through. Come on guys, out of my way please. Thank you. So I've definitely been partial to throwing the spin gear for the bass, that's for sure. It's just a lot easier, real smooth, less hassles, especially for finesse gear. Like with finesse gear, you know, like it's just real easy to lob it out there with the spinning gear. All right, so let's give this BFS a go. So apparently you got to sort of let the rod load up and do the work with this. So pitch casting, it's all right. It's all right. Like it's doesn't cast as far on a pitch cast, that's for sure. And the thing is, with BFS is, it's designed for throwing light weights, but it doesn't throw it as light as far as the spinning gear does. And if I'm being 100% honest, the kind of weights we're using to throw this morning, which is a micro pomp, I can almost put that on my Poison Adrena and Shimano Scorpion DC to throw it. In fact, I'm pretty sure I could. So I'm not convinced it's going to occupy a gap in my lineup of rods and reels, to be honest. Let's try a different gap. Alrighty. Bird's nest straight away. Okay. So you can't cast it like a normal bait caster, that's for sure. Which is frustrating because, well, it's a bait casting outfit. Let's foul the lure up. Yeah, I don't know. This stuff is not easy to use. It requires an entire new technique to learn it for gear that doesn't really do anything better than the gear I've already got. So, at this point, I don't see how this is anything more than a gimmick, if I'm being 100% honest. Seems very gimmicky to me. The lures foul up worse with it as well. I'd say that's because of how soft and supple the leader is. You know, you actually want quite a stiff leader for doing this kind of fishing, and you can't actually really use that, to be honest. No, another bird's nest. Nah, this stuff is no good. No good. You know, I was down here yesterday morning trying with it, to be honest. And I had the same problem, just bird's nest after bird's nest. It just... It's just the lures just don't have... When you're fishing this light, they don't have the inertia to get the spool spinning and keep it spinning. Yeah, see, like I can't even get out to the end of the tree with it. Like there's bugger all casting distance with it compared to the spinning gear. Like if I was casting the micro pump on my Stella, I'd get it under those trees almost over there. And they're a good sort of 25 meters away as well. So, yeah, it's doesn't really present any kind of advantages over using the spin gear, because you can't cast far enough to cast at a snag. I've spent probably a good couple of hours now trying to figure out how to cast this gear, and of those couple of hours I've probably spent an hour and a half picking out bird's nests. So yeah, BFS gear, it's not for everyone, definitely not for me. And if I'm being 100% honest, I'm struggling to understand who it's for, because it doesn't present any advantages at all. Like the way that you'd usually be able to punch a cast accurately with a bait caster, you can't do it with this gear. So you just got to kind of lob it and hope for the best. So what we'll do is we'll bring this in. We're going to put this away. All right, so let's get my Stella. There we go, that's more like it. So much better with the spin gear, with this finesse stuff. Now obviously I do like bait caster gear. Like I've got my Scorpion DC and the Poison Adrena, which I throw the bigger lures on. So it's not like I can't use bait caster gear. I've been using it my whole life pretty much, like 25 odd years I've been using them. So I know how to use bait caster gear, but the BFS gear, it's so tedious, and if anything's slightly wrong with your cast, it just bird's nests immediately. Just because there's no inertia with the lure to be able to keep that drum on your, sorry, not the drum, the spool on your reel spinning. Definitely not for me. Oh, we missed it. You bloody missed it. How did he miss that? Put it back through again, see if he's still there. Probably not. I felt a bit of weight on that, so I doubt he's going to want to come back for it. That's frustrating. Well, it's the first hit I've had in over a week now, which is good. Yeah, there he is, yes. Oh, no you don't. Come on. Oh, on the normal bait caster gear. Much easier to use than the BFS, that's for sure. More power to pull the fish out, that's for sure. Oh, you beauty. That's a good one actually. Holy crap, it's a good bass that. Look at that, what a specimen. He's gonna be up around that 40 as well. Well, there we go guys, a beautiful 37 centimeter bass there. Yeah, definitely prefer the normal bait caster gear and the spinning gear over BFS for doing this kind of fishing. 100%. I needed a little bit of power there because he was going straight for the snag, and my bait caster gear gave me that, so off he goes. You a beauty. Let's try and get another one, as we always say here. Always trying to get another one. Come on, line's tangled around the rod tip. There we go. Okay. Well, that's the first one I've caught in a little while now actually, so pretty happy about that. Pretty keen to see if we can find another. A lot of people have been saying to me lately that if I go to BFS I'll get a better fight. Ooh, there's a bit of a shot there from a fish. I've been saying I'd be getting a better cast, or not better cast, I'd get a better fight out of the fish, but look, I don't really want to lose too many fish in snags and have that sort of risk there. So the heavier bait caster gear is definitely a lot better than the BFS gear when you're throwing things like a big whopper plopper. There we go guys, and the results are in. BFS is definitely not for me. The main reason for this is BFS doesn't actually occupy a space in my gear lineup, like any kind of gap, and there's nothing that it can do that I can't do without my regular bait caster or my finesse spinning gear. So look guys, if you want to give it a go, feel free, but don't think that's going to be anything revolutionary for you. So if you like this one, please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.